Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Smart Money Sundays. Something new that we're doing, very excited about it. Obviously, we had been running our live webinars every Sunday, and we figured we would give this a try because we believe we can potentially reach more people with our analysis and give back to more people than just the live webinar, as many people are from different countries across the world and different time zones, and a lot of people aren't able to hop on our live session calls. And so we figured we'd give this a try and see what kind of feedback we get on it. Very excited to do this. And really what it's going to be is just a discussion about the markets and kind of some observations about what's going on. It's not as much so going to be, here's a setup, here's a trade for you to take, have fun. It's just going to more so be a discussion and just kind of a broad outlook on what's going on and give you kind of an insight into what we're looking at ourselves. Okay, so without further ado, we can go ahead and kind of get into it a little bit. And this episode is going to be a little bit brief. Again, we're going to share some, more of our in-depth analysis with our VIP community. And if you're interested in that, we do have a website, www.aerialfxtrading.com. I'll put the link in the description of the video. You absolutely feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about our VIP service or if you're interested in our courses. Okay, so let's kind of get into some of these charts briefly and see kind of what's going on. All right, so as usual, you all who know me, you know that I particularly enjoy EURUSD and really mainly the majors. And so most of this discussion is going to be on the majors and kind of go into a couple other crosses or exotics later on in the video. But as usual, I like to start off on everybody's favorite pair, EURUSD. So EU, quite clearly, we have been really in a range here for quite some time, really since late July. Obviously, right now, at the time of this video, it is mid to late September. Okay, so really has not been, I guess, ideal to trade. And it's just from my perspective and my personality. I prefer trending markets as opposed to consolidative markets. I like to kind of get those intra-week swing trades, swing opportunities. And with something like EU, it's been more kind of a scalper's environment lately. And I don't particularly enjoy scalping, getting in and out as much as I do kind of just riding the trend, riding the momentum. Nevertheless, this is kind of what's been going on here on EURUSD. And obviously higher time frame. If we can pop out to the daily, we did reach that overall objective of 1.2 that I have been mentioning for a long time on our live webinars. So that objective was achieved. Do I think that it's the top of this market? Absolutely not. I ultimately expect 1.25. If we can kind of zoom out a little bit more, actually I'll just go to the weekly. I do expect these highs here to eventually be met. So around 1.25 is the ultimate overall target long term. Okay, right now in terms of this range that we are trading within, I do believe we have somewhat distributed in price and could potentially see some type of overall higher time frame retracement on this pair, okay, into old market structure. That would be ideal, at least from a kind of swing trader's perspective. Looking for that nice retracement to get in for a continuation higher time frame long into 1.25. Okay, that would be ideal. However, right now, as we zoom into some of these lower time frames, what you can see is that we're still maintaining market structure. Okay, we're still creating these higher highs, and we really haven't begun to break down in price and create those lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so while we might want, and I have been wanting that higher time frame retracement for a while, we still have to look at lower time frame market structure and understand that we are still maintaining that structure to the upside. Okay, so in all reality, you should be more inclined at the moment to look for buying opportunities than selling opportunities in all reality. Okay, until we get more of that data and understand that we actually are going to break down in price and retrace higher time frame into prior structure. Okay, so clearly we're kind of within this range, and really we don't necessarily want to be getting involved in the middle of this range. Okay, and so it would be best to look for trading opportunities, obviously after old lows or at significantly premium prices, to look for potential shorting opportunities, okay, within this range. So right now, obviously you can see that we're kind of trading at the equilibrium of this range, and we don't necessarily want to take on that additional risk of getting involved in the middle. And so right now there's nothing really in particular that I'm looking at. What I did see last week was clearly we had these lows here, this double bottom, and price ran out those lows coming into our down close candle here that ran out lows as well. Okay, so like I said, towards the bottom of this range is where you should be more inclined to look for positions, or obviously towards the top of this range. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see that double top was run out, and you can see our imbalance in price. A nice run on liquidity here. Okay, so this could be a potential 1.1940, an area to scale in and look for price to begin to distribute on a lower time frame. Okay, so potential area of interest here, but again, I will remind you that we are still really maintaining that structure to the upside. Okay, but this is definitely a possibility if we're going to get that higher time frame retracement back down. Okay, and so right now I don't really see anything clear in terms of a buying opportunity. Okay, I would prefer it to kind of get above our counter trend structure, if you could call it that, but at least get above this level and look for a potential pullback and continuation into 1.1940. But for now, I don't see anything that stands out to me. Okay, so that is EURUSD. Moving on to a few more. Aussie dollar, again, this one is also tricky in my opinion. Okay, higher time frame. Again, I'm going to give you my objective long term, right, as I did on EURUSD. So my objective long term is going to be 0.7550, this level here. Okay, VIP, you know why. And so that is my long-term objective, and I have an understanding that structure and momentum is obviously still to the upside. Okay, but at the moment I really don't see clear opportunities to get in this market, as the dollar is really stuck within that range. I really need the dollar to begin moving. Okay, it's really been stuck since July, as we pointed out on Euro. So AUDUSD, if there were a buying opportunity, if I wanted to look for continuations to the upside, I would really prefer this level around 7,240. As you can see, we had some nice lows run out. Okay, and we sold to buy. Okay, so if I were to look for that long opportunity, I would want to see price retrace into 7,240 for that continuation. But I could also make a case, okay, for more downside, this being an impulsive leg, a retracement leg, and another continuation to go ahead and clean out some of these lows that we've maintained for a while now. Okay, so I'm really iffy on this one, and again, everything is always subject to change. I could see something come Monday or Tuesday, price action that's formed around the right time of day. I like to use time and price as a nice confluence, and absolutely see a trading setup. Okay, but at the moment, I really don't. It's very choppy, and it's not my ideal price action. Kind of same with EURUSD. It is what it is. Okay, there's nothing you can do about this. If you are a scalper, that's great. If you want to scalp 5-10 pips each way, more power to you. It's just not my personality to be trading within these kind of tight consolidated ranges. Okay, so NZD USD. This is another one where kind of gives me pause about AU. The fact that NZD/USD has very nice lows here within this double bottom that I believe will be magnetizing price to go ahead and take them out. Okay, so that kind of leads me to believe that AU is more than likely, as it correlates with Kiwi, is going to follow suit. Okay, and if we look at the higher time frame here on Kiwi, you can see that we had old highs here on the weekly, that we created equal highs that late last week, you can see we cleared out. Okay, we took out these old highs, equal highs. So now that we've kind of achieved that objective, and I'm not saying we're going to fall over now. We could trade into that level one more time and really get that dig on liquidity and then roll over. But now I think that our objective here of taking out these equal highs, higher time frame, is achieved. We could look for a rollover to the downside to go ahead and run out some of these nice double bottom lows. Okay, so in I don't believe it's necessarily ready yet until I get some more data, but I will be looking for possible shorting opportunities on this pair and going ahead and looking at 6,600 here with these lows as a nice target. Okay, so that's NU. Quickly, GBPUSD. I will note that higher time frame, obviously, we are bullish, as we are with all XXX USD pairs. Now, pound's a little bit different. It's a little bit more erratic. Obviously, it has other factors like Brexit that affect it. But ultimately, I do expect this high here, this old high 1.3515, to be taken out. Okay, I expect that to be the magnet for price, and ultimately this to be our target, 1.3800. I'm expecting long term on GBPUSD. Okay, if we look at simple market structure, you can see we are still creating higher highs and higher lows, and we have retraced into old market structure in a significant level here at 1.2750. Okay, something that I've noticed on pound pairs is that really these significant sell-offs ultimately result in strong rallies to the upside. And I remember back here, and it's kind of more clear on the weekly time frame, but there were some massive sell-offs here on the pound that only resulted in rallies. And if you look at weekly closures, oftentimes they can be very misleading. They can be very deceptive. Like with these weekly closures here, I remember so many people were calling sterling short after these weeks. Okay, but in all reality, we had an understanding that we were still maintaining market structure, higher highs and higher lows, that we had our equal highs at 1.3200. That would be the ultimate magnet for price. Okay, and so with significant sell-off, we still had an understanding that, okay, this is still going to be the magnet. Okay, these equal highs, this double top here on the daily time frame, is what gave us conviction, okay, and allowed us to not be deceived by the momentum behind the sell-off, and allowed us to continue to look for longing opportunities on pound. Okay, so just because we have this significant sell-off does not mean that we are going short. Okay, I'm still bullish really on GEU until we break and close below this level, 1.23. Okay, so in terms of the here and now, you can see that I think we had GBPUSD, not GBPUSD, I think we had pound monetary policy last week and created a big sell-off on the pound. Resulted in what? A rally. Okay, what did we do? We ran out this double bottom. Okay, liquidity here coming into, you can see, imbalance. Okay, so a nice sell to buy, and we've created some pretty clean highs here that I believe will be the magnet for price. Okay, so right now I am kind of fixated on 1.2900. I'm fixated on this level for continuations. As you can see now, we are beginning to, on a lower time frame, create those higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so I'm at least expecting at some point this week for these highs to be destroyed. Okay, and obviously this is that kind of level where I'm looking at for potential continuations. I'll be looking at scaling in at 1.2900. Okay. EURJPY. Just briefly, now that I've gone through some of these majors, I'll just quickly go through what I'm seeing on some of these other ones. EURJPY, you can see now that we've created our lower high, lower low, new lower low here. And naturally, we would expect at least one more drive into the low to complete our 3-drive cycle. As we talk about quite often, the market likes to move in cycles of 3. And so I will be looking for possible retracements to look to short this one more time into potentially some of this imbalance here. Okay, so this is a very significant level, and I don't traditionally trade support and resistance, but you can see the price sensitivity at this level. So this will be my first area of interest. However, it's not going to be a trade based off of one specific confluence, that being just an old support and resistance, right? I'll need to see a variety of factors that align around this level at the right time of day if I'm going to be taking a continuation to the downside. Okay, so, but again, I am looking for that third leg to the downside on EURJPY. Okay. Yen is quite strong at the moment, and obviously AJ here, I will be looking for potential shorting opportunities. I don't really see anything too clean on this. However, just kind of want you to note this level here. These equal lows, this double bottom here, should be the magnet for price, okay, ultimately. Okay. We are, however, respecting that daily 50 EMA, okay, and very well could continue higher time frame. I don't expect that because we do have these significant lows here that I believe will be the magnet for price. What you can see potentially shaping up here is a weekly, I'll just kind of note these highs, a weekly run on liquidity here with this candle, and you can see we haven't had much momentum, much follow through behind this volume within this candlestick. We've kind of rolled over. Okay, so this could be our institutional candle, okay, running out all these highs, and we could be in for that higher time frame retracement. Okay, so what you could do as well is kind of wait for price to close below that daily 50 EMA, retest, and continue down. Okay, now this doesn't mean that we're going short. Okay, I still ultimately expect, I'll just delete some of this quickly. I still ultimately expect this level here, 79.50, to be the ultimate target long term. Okay, so even higher time frame retracements, I'm still looking for higher time frame areas of interest and excuses to buy into 79.50. Okay, and VIP knows why. That this level is a nice higher time frame objective. Okay, so we could be looking for counter trend shorting opportunities, okay, until we reach a significant level on a higher time frame, and I'm not worried about identifying that level just yet because I still think we can continue counter trend short term. Okay, so that is AJ. Again, I'm looking for downside on AJ. I'm looking for downside on EJ. CJ, kind of the same deal. Higher time frame objective is 82.85, really 8,300, this level here. Okay, so pullbacks higher time frame, we are getting that now. Okay, we're getting that. I will be looking for a slowdown momentum, some accumulation, higher time frame for continuation. Doesn't mean we can't be looking for short-term shorting opportunities, just like AJ, just like EJ. Okay, so we can be treating currently pullbacks as excuses to sell CADJPY at the moment, at least into some of this imbalance here where we ran out all of this liquidity. Okay, we ran out all the lows, sell to buy, and we have some imbalance here. So I'm expecting price to trade into this region of price, and until then we can look for shorting opportunities. I don't believe there was anything else. GBPCAD, quite simple. This one, it is higher time frame bearish still, GBPCAD. Okay, but we are lower time frame, creating those higher highs and higher lows. And so quite simply, I am looking at this level here, this 30-minute level candle, and for price to run out this double bottom, okay, sweep the double bottom, come into our 30-minute candle, really around 0.7015, and look for a continuation into 7200. That'll be my short-term objective for GBPCAD, and that is about it. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at the moment. Obviously, everything is subject to change. We like to focus in on time and price and what is happening for specific sessions, okay, because that is ultimately a very strong confluence for our trading. Okay, so VIP will be updated consistently on what we are looking at. And again, if you have any questions on this analysis, or if you'd like me to break something else down for you, feel free to shoot us a message at ArielFX Trading on Telegram. If you'd like to reach out on Instagram, our Instagram tag is at Ariel__FX. That's 2 underscores, and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Again, if you're interested in our services, please check out our website, www.arielfxtrading.com. Okay, so I hope you found value within this video. Please leave us some feedback. We can improve on it and continue with this series next Sunday. All right, have a great week and safe trading.